very squarely in the area of interest from the initial poll of the intersection of AI and blockchain. One can look at a sort of layered view that shows how they intersect. And in layer 0 is where we are today, that we've got a ton of data in various, healthcare organizations in various silos, whether it's an EHR or some other system, lab systems, radiology, et cetera, payer systems. There's all these silos, right? There's very little, if any, sharing. This massive untapped potential is generally what I've seen where the consensus is that most healthcare organizations and workers agree there's massive untapped potential to share some of that data in a targeted, secure manner to improve healthcare, whether it's reducing healthcare costs, whether it's improving the experience of the patients and healthcare workers, whether it's improving patient outcomes. There's massive untapped potential. So that really paves the way for layer 1, which is blockchain. Blockchain can enable that targeted, secure sharing of healthcare data across what we're going to call B2B or business-to-business networks. So think of a network of healthcare organizations that need to share a certain type of data and for a defined business reason. And blockchain is the B2B middleware that can facilitate that targeted, secure sharing. Blockchain can deliver value in the form of that targeted, secure sharing of data, independent of smart contracts or cryptocurrencies. Okay, so just think of it as baseline in layer 1. It can be a sort of data conveyance, collaboration platform, a middleware. Layer 2 is, once we have that sort of baseline layer 1, we can add layer 2, which can increasingly automate transactions on the blockchain. So in layer 1, all the logic is on the periphery of the blockchain. It's in the enterprise systems that will connect to the blockchain. Implicit in this is that blockchain will not replace those. It's going to augment those enterprise systems. It's going to connect with them on the back end. And but in layer 1, you've got the execution, the logic in those enterprise systems, not on the blockchain. So why would you want to move the execution to the blockchain? Well, it could be a lot faster, and you could offload a lot of the execution to the blockchain. So let's say you're doing a clearinghouse where a provider is generating a claim that's going to a payer. If you do that via blockchain, and there's companies doing that like PocketDoc, the actual claim has to go into the payer system, be processed, adjudicated, the results put back on the blockchain, and there's certain turnaround and response time delays, if you will. A lot of that adjudication, the simpler sort of claims adjudication, could potentially move to the blockchain. So you can have executable logic on the blockchain that as soon as a new transaction is seen that matches the smart contract, it can execute and it can kick back claims that are invalid for whatever reason, and thereby improve a response and efficiency and lower costs. In layer 3, once we have smart contracts, that paves the way for cryptocurrencies and tokens. So a lot of you will know about Bitcoin. We're not talking about Bitcoin here, in layer 1, blockchain is very distinctly different from Bitcoin. Think of blockchain as a foundation that supports a lot of different sort of applications. Bitcoin is one application, but healthcare has many, many applications. But cryptocurrencies and tokens can be used in layer 3 to enable sort of new types of commerce around healthcare use cases and new incentive systems. So, if you're doing a blockchain around a use case that requires patient engagement, you can incent and reward that patient engagement with cryptocurrencies and tokens. So they'll be rewarded for sharing their data, participating in studies, and they can redeem those rewards for reduced cost on their healthcare services or any number of sort of rewards. So layer 3 can incent collaboration amongst healthcare organizations and so on. So now where layer 4 fits in AI and machine learning can really be advanced with blockchain and related technologies here. AI and machine learning, they're very data hungry, right? They need lots of data. They need high quality data. Where blockchain can help is, any AI machine learning project ultimately runs into the obstacle of there's not enough data. We can source data out of this one organization, out of this one silo, but it's limited data. At some point, you're not going to have enough data to do some corner use cases or drive the models to a level where you're going to get a low enough error rate to make it feasible. To reduce error rates and to improve inference, you really need lots and lots of data, lots of high quality data. And so where you get that from is not just one organization or one silo, it's a consortium of organizations, and blockchain facilitates the secure targeted sharing of that data for the purpose of training AI machine learning models. And blockchain can incent the collaboration around AI machine learning in many other ways, which I'll go through in a moment. But I like to do this sort of layered view because it kind of shows how they support each other. Blockchain is really a foundation that can support better AI and machine learning and many other higher level functionalities. If you want to know what you can do today, there's a pretty handy healthcare blueprint for AI that you can download. It also goes into some of the compliance things with HIPAA, high trust. But you can download it from that link there, and it's actually not just documentation. You can actually run that. You can run that in Microsoft Azure today, and you can, of course, understand the components. It deals with the patient length of stay prediction, but that provides you a baseline that you can then customize to whatever the use case you have in mind for AI machine learning for your healthcare organization. We have this Azure Blockchain Workbench. So this is a rapid prototyping environment. If you have a particular use case in mind for blockchain for healthcare, or any industry, you can go in there and you can prototype the blockchain sort of artifacts that you can then deploy to Ethereum Enterprise and soon Hyperledger Fabric and R3 Corda, running in Azure. Again, a lot easier to spin up blockchain nodes in the cloud. But you can get going with your pilot a lot faster and focus on piloting and sort of learning and evolving your blockchain rather than the technology. So that link there, you can go and see the Azure Blockchain Workbench. Lots of good information there about how to get started. There's a ton of activity on social media. Feel free to reach out to me. These two subjects are evolving super quickly, and so it's not really something you go pick up a textbook. If you want the latest information, I encourage you to reach out on social media, or you can shoot me an email. My email address is there.